34 days to go, as I keep telling you. This election is being seen as a referendum on Trump's brand of politics. How has he fared so far? What are his chances? Who better than a former Trump insider to analyze the trends for us? Earlier today, I spoke to John Bolton, Trump's former national security advisor, now the author of a tell-all book against the president. We asked him about Trump's prospects, about who will be a better bet for India, Trump or Biden. Will Donald Trump benefit from his close ties with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi? And how far is America willing to go to make China pay? Watch this. Hello and welcome to the interview. With me is the former National Security Advisor of US President Donald Trump, Mr. John Bolton, who's been on this channel before. Mr. Bolton, welcome back to WION. How are you, sir?
Glad to be with you. Thanks for having me back.
The campaign is in its last lap. The election is barely a month away. How do you think the odds are stacked against the incumbent?
Well, I think right now, former Vice President Biden has a lead in the public opinion polls nationally. He appears to lead in the Electoral College, but 5 weeks is still an eternity in American politics. Just in the past few days, for example, we had the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. The president has nominated a sitting circuit judge, Amy Coney Barrett, to replace her. We'll have hearings the week of October the 12th and a vote probably the week after that. A big event and will cause a lot of controversy. And tonight, on the 29th of September, is the first of 3 presidential debates. So a lot's at stake for both Biden and Trump in this debate tonight. And that could have an impact on the election as well. Everybody is scarred by 2016 when the polls had Hillary Clinton winning easily, and then she didn't. So I think it's important that nobody draw any conclusions simply because Biden is ahead in the polls at this point.
So you are saying Biden would be a better bet?
Well, hypothetically, I'm still not going to vote for him. I'm going to write in the name of some individual yet to be decided. I don't like either Biden or Trump. I wish I had a different choice. I'm thinking of writing in Ronald Reagan. I'm hoping he's available.
And irrespective of who takes the White House, how far do you think America is prepared to go to hold China accountable for what we've suffered this year?
I don't think we know the answer to that question, but I think pretty far. And I'll just speak for myself here. I think China's behavior was outrageous. And I don't mean just going back to January. I mean going back into November and possibly earlier. I think they knew, or at least suspected, they had a big problem well before they told anyone around the world. If you look at the history, it's clear that they were very worried about the impact inside China, even when they were denying there was human-to-human transmission. There's a long train of the Chinese deception and cover-up involved here. And I think when you add that with their practices in the military area, the economic area, I think we need a decidedly different American policy, much harder line. And I think Biden will be pushed in that direction if he wins. I will be on the outside, of course, and I will be pushing him, as will many other people, to be even harder.
You spoke about President Trump's engagements with Prime Minister Modi. Do you think this supposed closeness is going to help Donald Trump in his campaign with the Indian American voters, the engagements in September last year in Houston, and then again in Delhi and Ahmedabad?
I think they will have a significant effect, but I think the Democrats are not going to let the Indian American community go uncontested. And I think one reason that Trump may do well is that many in that community are very successful entrepreneurs, business people, professionals. They don't like the tax and regulatory policies of the Democratic Party any more, any less than any other American similarly situated. So I think that vote is up for grabs, and I'm sure it's being very heavily contested.
Are you saying that Donald Trump will benefit with the Indian American vote after his engagements with Indian Prime Minister Modi in September last year and then later this year?
Yes, I think it was called the Houston rally was called Howdy Modi, and it was intended to be a greeting by the Indian American community to Prime Minister Modi. But the Prime Minister, who's obviously a clear, sensitive politician, invited Donald Trump to it, and Trump took him up instantly. And I think that the friendship between the two of them was visible. The importance of the U.S.-Indian relationship is visible. And Trump was doing all he could to exploit it. Now, Biden isn't going to sit there and let that go by default. And I think Kamala Harris will be a big player in trying to persuade the community to vote for their ticket.
Mr. Bolton, thanks very much for being with us here on WION.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. The world is one.